It's okay. It's just okay because it's Jen, and I have been known to overdo things, and this is not unlike any other situation that I've overdone. And I would be lying if I said that these were the only ones that I've made. Hey guys, I'm back, and today it is finally Hot Cocoa Day. And as you can see, I am prepared, and most importantly, I have matching leg warmers. Thus completing my look. Actually, no, I also have earrings and sorta did my hair, so now there's this whole thing happening here. I'm retro, I'm loving it. But obviously, since I'm wearing my jumper, it's not gonna go in my hot cocoa, so just don't expect that, or pajamas, because truth be told, I forgot to get myself some. Same for Mike. There's gonna be no clothing in my hot cocoa. That's what I'm getting at here, so that you just don't anticipate that. Not that you ever really would, because I just put whatever I want in there. And for those of you who have no clue what I'm talking about, and I don't blame you because it sounds really strange to have clothing in a hot cocoa cup, I'll quickly direct your attention to the link up here or down in the description where you can find my video from last year where I show you how to make a hot cocoa cup. But if you don't want to do that, that's okay. Basically, it is just a poster board or a Bristol board, depending on where you live. They're called different things, and it's rolled up, taped together, and wrapped with a picture on the front. And the end result is basically a really cute cup that you could fill with surprises to give away to whomever you'd like, but with a cute face. So at our house, the kids will open these on Christmas Eve to find their new pajamas, a mug with some hot chocolate, a new plushie, and of course popcorn for the movie, which you should all know by now is gonna be Christmas Vacation. But today, instead of just filling 2, I'm gonna be making 4. Why do I always do that? That's 8. I'm okay. I promise. So for my kids, I have last year's cups and I've just taken off the paper and rewrapped them. And you can actually see inside that Princess Jasmine is still in fact there. And I took it off very carefully in a way that allowed me to reuse that wrapping paper because of course it's just one big sheet, as long as you do it right. Recycle, reduce, reuse. I've also made one for Mike, and you'll notice that he's missing his label, so I will still have to add that. And I have one for me, and mine is also missing a logo, so I'll have to add that as well. But before we can get to those, we'll have to fill the kids' cups, because those are really the only ones I actually care about.
Yeah.
I mean, I care about me and Mike, but Christmas is for the kids, and I enjoy seeing their faces, especially when they like something that I've made. Not trying to pump my ego or anything, but it always makes you feel really good when somebody likes something you've made, because clearly you can like things from the store. I mean, everybody does. But when you spend your time making something from the heart, and then you see somebody open it and love it instantly, it just makes you feel good. Also, you learn that it wasn't a complete waste of your time, so there's that. So first things first, pajamas, because I didn't forget about my kids. I'm just gonna wrap them in tissue paper so it feels like they're opening presents the day before it's time to open presents. And there we go. Pop it in the cup. So my daughter has a 2-piece set of pants and a shirt, and they are just blue and white stripes. Same for my son. Gonna wrap them in tissue and then pop it in his cup. And he also got a 2-piece set, but his has sports equipment on it. Why am I telling you this? I don't know. In case I didn't point it out, there is a bottom to these cups. That's why nothing is falling. And now that there's a nice flat surface in there at a relatively wide space in the cup, I'm gonna put the biggest item that I have because it needs to stay flat. But before I show you what it is, I will show you the tutorial because I actually filmed the making process. Okay, so the first craft we're gonna do requires a paper towel and a nice cool dry place because you don't want it to be hot, because we're gonna be making hot chocolate bombs. And these ones are gonna be the simplest that I could come up with because there are many different ideas floating around on Pinterest and on YouTube, but I don't have time for that. So I'm gonna be using surprise eggs. These ones here are a Disney Christmas themed one, which is cute because we're gonna get a little mini ornament or something inside, along with packages of hot cocoa, mini marshmallows, and then anything else that you might wanna use. So for me, that includes cute packaging, a little container of magic powder, which I'll share with you guys shortly, and one more secret ingredient. And another reason I'm gonna be using chocolate eggs is because this should go a lot quicker than if we were to form our own eggs using a mold, because you have to temper the chocolate, you have to have a silicone mold, or wrestle with a Christmas ornament because there are methods for that as well. But for my idea, all we have to do is carefully split our egg along the seam to the best of our ability. And whenever you aren't ready to actually proceed with something, make sure you put the egg down because the shell is very thin and you don't want it to melt, crack, or dent. So far, so good. 2 perfectly capable eggs here until I potentially ruin them. But it's all right because if that happens, I am prepared with backups. And now, taking my sharp knife, I'm just going to score along the side edges of the egg so that we give it a little line to follow as we crack. And once you feel confident that you have done the best you could to score it, just gently pry it open and pray to the chocolate gods. Perfect. Now I'm just gonna remove the toy capsule and save it for later and open the second egg. Oh, that happened really quickly. Once again, I'm gonna remove the little capsule. And now we move on to the actual filling of the eggs. So for one package of this cocoa powder, you can actually fill 2 of the eggs since we're only gonna be filling 1/2 of the shell. You definitely don't wanna mess when you try to combine them again, so it's like the perfect ratio. Plus we're adding chocolate in the form of the shell, so I mean, unless you want your kids hopped up on sugar on Christmas Eve, just go with this ratio. Next, I'm gonna be adding 2 very tiny scoops of my magic powder, and this is just Werther's Original candies pulsed through a blender until it's literally dust, and it's amazing. Next, I'm gonna take a pinch of salt and place it in each. And the last thing I'm gonna add will be mini marshmallows, but you could just as easily keep it plain cocoa or cocoa and marshmallows or cocoa and crushed candy canes. Basically fill it to your heart's content and then reattach the shell. And that's what we're gonna do now. So basically I'm gonna take some cooled melted chocolate because you don't want it to melt the existing shell, and I'm piping that around the outside of the empty half. Then I'm just gonna rest it on top of the full side and give it a gentle squeeze so that the excess chocolate comes out. And I'm gonna take my finger and gently wipe that so it will fill any of the cracks that might have formed and also prevent the powder contents from falling out. And there you go, 2 extremely simple hot chocolate bombs. And although these are technically already done, you could take it one step further by decorating them, which I think I'm actually gonna do. But first, I think I'll make a second batch. We're back with all 4 of our eggs. They're cooled and set, and now I'm gonna decorate them using candy melts. Now you could easily just take some melted chocolate and drizzle it across the top and crush on some candy canes if that's your jam, but I wanted to add a pop of color, so I've got green, red, and white here. What I don't know is how well the image is gonna turn out. So I'm gonna start by drawing what should be a Christmas tree. And just like before, I'm gonna recommend you take a few breaks so that your hands don't warm up the chocolate too much. And also, make sure you allow the candy melts to cool a bit so that you're not putting super hot melted candy directly on the chocolate, because of course that might melt your egg. And after all the hard work we just went through trying to open it, you wouldn't want that to happen. Alright, so it's no secret that there are a lot of people making and selling hot chocolate bombs this year. They're very, very popular, and I could have bought some, but I wanted to spend time making gifts for my children because since we can't see family this year, it seems more special to me to do a lot of handmade items and make it about the memories. Also, why not play with some melted chocolate and make a big mess, you know? Who doesn't want that? Now we're gonna be fancy and add some white chocolate. Woo! Add some little white ornaments. A little bit of snow. Snow never hurt anyone. Snowflake, snowflake, massive snowflake, you are way too big. I'm drawing you on here anyway to cover up what I did. Yeah! And there you have it, guys. Some super easy hot chocolate bombs for kids using surprise eggs. And don't worry, we will be doing something with the toys in just a minute. But once again, I need to clean up. We are back once again. Turns out I took my rings off to wash my hands. I couldn't find them. I was confused. But we're back. We found them. Everything is great. And here are my decorated eggs. They do look super cute, don't they? Now initially I was gonna use these cute little containers that I had. My plan was gonna be to wrap them in cellophane, fill it with a little bit of tinsel and viola. But once again, since they don't look super ugly, my new plan is to use these super cute baking cups along with these super adorable holiday themed window tins. And you can use these for candies, cookies, or little gifts that you want people to be able to see. And the best part is they were only $1.50. So let's fill them up and see what they look like. I'm just gonna start by putting 4 baking cups inside the tin and then adding 1 of each of the styles of decorated egg. I'm gonna put them across from each other though so that it looks kinda cute. And as you can see, they are moving around a bit, so I'm gonna be filling the gaps with tissue paper. Just crumple it up and stick it in. And in the 2 empty cups, we're gonna be adding the toy capsules back. But first, we'll wrap them in tissue paper so the kids can have a little extra surprise. They won't know what it is until they open it. Last thing to do is pop on the lid and viola. Super easy and cost-effective, cute little surprise for your hot chocolate bombs. Now I'm just gonna repeat the process in the second tin. However, I just realized this one has a red lid and the first one had a green lid. So I think I'm gonna take the tissue paper out of the first one and put it in the second one because it just seems like it would be a better contrast. But it just dawned on me that they're not gonna know they're hot chocolates. So the last thing I might do is make a little picture that says, "These are hot chocolates. Add to a cup and pour on hot milk with adult supervision." And then they'll be perfect. And we can add them to the rest of the stuff in the cup. And And we're back. How was that? Lovely, right? Okay, so as you can see, they are still intact, and that's because I was a smart cookie and I placed them in the freezer because I actually filmed that like 2 days ago. And unfortunately, my studio is directly under a heater and I didn't want these to melt. So now I'm just gonna add them to each cup. And then of course, tissue paper. Next up, we're gonna need mugs, and sadly, I failed myself last year when I made my Bebuts Hot Cocos because I didn't remember to order Bebuts Hot Cocoa Mugs. But not this year. This year, I remembered to order them, and I ordered them well in advance to make sure they would arrive in time. And now we can see what they look like, or at least how they come shipped. So it comes in a box. Maybe I should be more careful. Oh, that got lucky. Ooh, that's really good. And inside, you've got a mug. Very nice. So yes, this is what you would receive if you chose to order one of the Bebuts Hot Cocoa Mugs. Of course, it's not gonna get to you in time for Christmas because, well, I mean, Christmas is like now. But if you ever chose to get one in future, this is what you would receive. Of course, in whatever color you choose. And the one inside this box is the same color, so I don't need to unwrap that. At this point, I can add them to the cups as is and just pop in some more tissue paper, or I could wrap them for an extra surprise. And since I have so much extra wrapping paper lying around, I think I'm gonna go with that. Just like that, they're ready. I don't know why my poof was so weird. Now, hopefully the kids find these super exciting and not more like, oh, mugs, awesome, thanks, Mom. No, actually my kids are really great. They're gonna be excited. And if they're not, oh well, that's okay, because we're moving on to more tissue paper. And now, since the majority of the large items are actually taking up space in the cup, we can begin to add smaller things. Starting with these super cute little ring pop type treats that were sent to me by my friend Steve. So they are Star Wars themed, and I know my kids are gonna love them. Also, thank you, Steve, for the wonderful Christmas presents. Next, I'll be adding these little gift bags with a bag of popcorn each and a popcorn seasoning shaker. So my son's gonna get white cheddar and my daughter's gonna get dill pickle. This sounds really weird, but who doesn't love a little bit of flavor? Also, my kids have never had one of these before and they're gonna lose their minds. I'd be willing to bet on it. All right, the next thing that I'm adding is crazy, and I'm fully aware of how crazy this is gonna be, and it's okay. It's just okay because it's Jen, and I have been known to overdo things, and this is not unlike any other situation that I've overdone, because I have in my hands 16 different Crewmate plushies that I've made for the holidays, and I would be lying if I said that these were the only ones that I've made, because I've actually also made many more, which I've already given out so that my friends' kids could have them for Christmas as well. And I also have a ton more socks in front of me and intend to make more before Christmas Day. So in my house, Among Us is pretty popular. Actually, it's pretty popular everywhere. So I knew I was definitely gonna have to include something this year for the kids that was handmade and Among Us themed. And while I could have easily made my own plushie version through crochet, I knew that I was gonna wanna make many different colors and that was gonna be time consuming and the kids would most likely stumble across me crafting, which I couldn't have because it would spoil the surprise. So instead of doing that, I went onto YouTube and typed in DIY Among Us to see what kind of crafts would pop up that I could potentially recreate at home in a short amount of time. And that's how I found Maqaroon's tutorial on making DIY crewmates out of socks. And they are so cute. I literally watched that video, realized I had a whole bunch of brand new fluffy socks, quickly got more, and set to work. And now, because I'm crazy, I have at least 20 crewmates here and many more that I've already given away, and there are still socks that have yet to be sewn. Yes, folks, you heard that right. I have been sewing, and that's the beauty of this tutorial, which, by the way, I'm leaving the link for in the description so you can check it out yourself in case you want to make some. These are honestly so fast to work up. Like, I can make one plushie in 20 minutes because I've got like this system now. And the best part is they're very cost effective because you can make 2 crewmates from each pair of socks, which I got at the dollar store for $1.25. Tell me that's not a win. So currently I have about 20 different crewmates that I can choose from to give to the kids, and I do want to give them a few each. I kind of wanted them to have a whole 12 color team, but unfortunately I wasn't able to find all of the color variants in sock form as there are available in crewmate skins. So instead I've made what was available to me, which includes a nice cyan color, pink, dark gray, white, red, blue, and I do have 2 different shades here because I couldn't tell which one I preferred, black, more cyan and white, more red, more pink, and then I also made some that are no longer with us in the form of purple and green. So at some point I will add to these crew members because, as mentioned, I love this tutorial and they whip up really, really quickly. Once again, I highly recommend watching the video if you're interested in making these at all for yourself. And believe me, you might be. Bzz. Because although I couldn't find a lot of regular colored socks, there was no shortage of bee socks, which means I made myself some bee crewmates. You know I had to. They are stinking adorable. And the best part is each one of these came from one sock, and this is the small size kid's sock. So imagine I got a bigger one, like I could have had a bigger bee. And right now, I'm working on a hive. This is the one I started last night. It's still missing its antennae, but I will get to that. And of course, as you saw, I have one more to make, which means I'm gonna have 4. Why do I keep doing that? That's 8. Which means I'm gonna have 4. The more socks that I find with bees on them, the more crewmates I'm gonna have. I will have a crewmate hive. So I'm gonna keep these 2 because they're adorable, but I am making more so that I can send to friends that have shown interest in my skills as a seamstress now. So that's all my crewmates. I'm super excited. That was a really long-winded way of saying what I've just added to the kids' cups, and for you to check out the tutorial if you're interested in making some yourself, because I'm not taking credit for anything. I did not create these. And now we can move on to more tissue paper. And we can move on to our last 2 items. So the first one is gonna be a little air dry clay modeling kit that I got at the dollar store. So I have a cute little raccoon for my son because he likes raccoons, and a sweet little purple kitty for my daughter. And the last item is just gonna be 1 mini brand's toy surprise ball each, followed by more tissue paper. Now, usually I would also give each child a new book, but because I have those separated for Christmas Day, because it's part of something else, I'm just gonna stop here, which means we can finish off. And you can do this any way you like. In the past, I've used just a cardboard cutout so it looked like cocoa, and then put pom-poms on top to be marshmallows, and sometimes I just leave it with tissue paper. But this year, I've got white tinsel. And if I circle it around the inside and pile it high, it looks like really pretty and fancy whipped cream. And it also makes for a super simple opening process. There you go, so there's the first cup. And that makes 2, which means we can move on to Mike's. And the first item that's gonna go inside is his new Christmas vacation jumper, which was sent to me but turned out to be too big. And it's perfect for him because he loves Christmas Vacation, and we are gonna be watching it once he opens this, so it all works out. Followed by some tissue paper. Next, I'm going to be adding the 4 Star Trek Tubbz ducks that I checked out in my last video. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, that took some work, but they're in there and we can move on. Next, I'm gonna put in the beard ornaments that I checked out last year because not only do they light up and jingle, but they work perfectly for Christmas, and they didn't cost me anything since we already own them. Which means I'm gonna have fun watching Mike not have fun clipping things to his beard. It's a win for everybody, mostly me. And lastly, Mike also gets his very own handmade chocolate surprise, and I filmed the process. So you enjoy that, and I'll see you in a sec. So I'm gonna be making my husband some cute little novelty chocolates using this little mold of hamburgers, pizzas, and French fries that I got at Michael's like a 1.5 years ago. And basically what I'm gonna do is try my best to fill in some of these little details with candy melt, and then allow the colors to set before moving on. So I've got some French fry containers, I've got some pepperoni, and a few little pieces of tomato on my burger. And I'm gonna quickly pipe in some buns before my light brown cools completely. Right, now I'm gonna start working on the French fries with the yellow candy melts, and of course, the pizza. We need some cheese. Once my candy melt layers have solidified, I'm gonna fill it with cooled melted milk chocolate. And after allowing these to firm up, I am ready to pop them out. And luckily for me, we have a silicone mold, so I can gently stretch around the chocolates so that we can free them, and nothing should break. But I still have to be careful so that I don't snap off any extra bits. I might not have filled the molds properly. You never know if there was air bubbles. I don't want to chip any of my hard work. Oh, there you go. Prime example of bad pipe work. I did not get all the way into the bottom of the mold when I started squeezing, so that one just looks derpy as heck. Now I'm just gonna clean up the edges of some of these candies, take away the excess chocolate there, and I'm trying to work as quickly as possible because I don't want to have them either melt on me or get covered in fingerprints. Right now they have a nice glossy finish to them, and despite looking a little worse for wear, they look as though they're store-bought. you know, if store-bought stuff was shoddily made. You know what I mean? It doesn't look completely homemade. I can't tell which ones I like the most. I don't know if it's the pizza or the burger or the fries. It's definitely one of those three because those are the only options here. And now we're going to wrap them, make them presentable. Basically, I'm just going to be taking each little chocolate, I'm gonna twist up the sides and add a small piece of Scotch tape so that I'll be able to tie some colored ribbons around them and not have to worry about the chocolates moving around inside the package. And here is the end result. I did trim the ribbons down once they were tied, as well as some of that cellophane. That way, when I display them, you won't just think that there's colored blobs mixed in with clear garbage. And since I took so much time and effort to make them display worthy, I wanna make sure my husband sees them right away. And the best way for me to do that would be to package them inside fillable ornaments. And I got this 2-pack for $1.50 at the dollar store, so it's literally perfect. However, if for some reason it seems as though there's too much and it won't work with those two, I am prepared with this one large fillable ornament, which was $1.25. So I'm just gonna peel back one of the stickers and throw in some of my candies. Okay, never mind. The cellophane is too big, so I'm gonna have to save these for something else. But that's why we have backups. It all works out. Now it's like one of those giant Lindor eggs. But, you know, mini burgers, pizza, and french fries. Now I just gotta add the top portion, and there we go, guys. My ornament filled with candies is ready. Right now it's looking a little boring with just the silver ribbon that they gave me, so I'm probably gonna add just a smidge more to it, but don't worry, because you'll see what it looks like. Ta-da! The end result! It's absolutely adorable, and I mean, if we wanted, we could hang it on the tree, but where's the fun in that? Personally, I'm just excited to crack them open and taste them and make sure that they aren't horrible. Check it out though. They look so pretty because I found a really cute little bow that reminds me of candy canes, and I tied it oh so bow-like, which is actually very difficult when you're not good at tying bows. I mean, like, I can tie a bow, but making them poof and look pretty, that's a skill that I don't usually possess, but today I did. So let's pop that in, pile it high with tinsel, slap on Mike's very own logo, and he's got his first ever hot cocoa surprise. I should add that to a mug too. Okay, as of right now, I've just decided I'm gonna be adding this one to my shop as well. Once again, the link is in the description. So if you wanna get your very own Mike logo, that will be in the shop because I just decided. Anyways, that is the end of Mike's cup, which means mine is the only one left, along with an explanation of why it's so huge. I bought myself a Barbie puzzle to celebrate 60 years, and I thought that if I made myself a longer cup and made it more narrow, that it would fit. And it technically does, but it stretches it out and looks ridiculous. But because I had already wrapped the cup thinking it would fit because I didn't plan ahead and actually check, I'm now stuck with a massive cup and it looks like I'm a crazy person. So there's that. And the best part is I didn't actually get myself very much of anything to put in here, so it's gonna be a very empty large cup because I'm obviously currently wearing my jumper and I didn't get myself pajamas. So I'm actually just gonna find things around my room that I haven't opened yet to put in here so that it doesn't look like I don't like myself on Christmas Eve. Be right back. All right, we've got things. I may not have pajamas, but I have socks. Once again, thank you to the lovely Steve. Dude, you are amazing. And it's 3 pairs of ankle socks covered in bees, and I'm loving it. So I'm just gonna wrap that and put it in. And then I'll just tell the kids that my friend sent it to me so I didn't look sad on Christmas Eve. Perfect. And next, the lovely me has gotten me some more Barbie collectibles in the form of these super cute Barbie tins. Do you see where I was going with this? There was gonna be a whole 60-year theme going on here, and I should have known it was all gonna fall apart when I couldn't find wrapping paper. But regardless, I have these collector tins of chocolates, and I got them at Winners here in Canada for only $6, and they include both milk and dark chocolate, and I'm really excited about them. So I did buy 4 because I'm crazy, but don't worry, I intend to share them because I have friends who also collect Barbies. So it's a win for everybody. But since these are literally gonna be the last item going into my cup and it's still not gonna fill it and I'm gonna look like a total loser to only my family on Christmas Eve, I intend to put all of them in. Not that opening something is required, but otherwise I'm gonna be the only one without a cup and I'll feel left out. Dang it! It's still so empty. Oh, my bees! Oh, wait. Never mind. Hold on, I'm back. Hold on. I forgot about my bees. I could put those in. Hooray! With some more tissue paper, of course. Well, it's a little better. Not much, but You know what? It's fuller. That's all that matters. I mean, I could just cut off the top and move it down, but then it's a waste of all my time and effort. You know what? This is completely fine for me. Oh, I'm so smart. Never mind. I still have more dots. And since, in a very wonky way, that brought my cup filling process to an end. What? No. Since my cup is now filled, we'll add some tissue paper, tinsel, and lastly, me. Hooray! And that, my friends, is 4 completed Bebuts Hot Cocos. Mind you, I cheated quite a bit in mine because it's all stuff that I already have. What truly matters to me is watching my kids get theirs. This is just so that I didn't waste all my time creating a cup for no reason at this point. Oh, you know what else is important, other than the kids' smiles, of course, is the fact that you no longer have to hear me complain about not finishing my Bebuts Hot Cocoa video. Hooray! So as we all celebrate that, let's also celebrate a year of health and happiness going forward into the future, because I don't know about you guys, but I am so done with 2020. Although I did make some really good friends this year, and I'm super grateful for that, I'm done with 2020. And no matter what your beliefs or what you celebrate, my wish for all of you is the exact same. Nothing but happiness and heartfelt moments where you guys get to create magical memories with your family so that you can look back on them and remember something good. So best wishes for health, safety, and laughter this year from my family to yours. Here's wishing that 2021 is amazing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did and haven't yet, then please subscribe to this channel and of course to my second channel, which is the Great Big Toy Box, if you want to see videos that include toy reviews. And if for some reason you want to watch me suffer because I decided that I want to learn a new skill, I've also joined TikTok, and you can find me at the NexJen. Currently there's only one video, but I'll post when I figure more things out. Yeah, that's the end of that. If you know somebody who would enjoy today's video, then please share it with them. And if you enjoyed it yourself, then please make sure you remember to comment, like, and subscribe. You can let me know down below what you liked or didn't like. And if you choose to make your very own Bebuts Hot Cocoa this year, I would love to see, and you can share them with me on Twitter or on Instagram. And if you want to have the actual Bebuts Hot Cocoa logo, you can find both images free to download on Twitter. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a safe and happy holiday. Breathe easy, stay safe, create memories, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!